So what's up everybody, Black Clover 328 fan translations are out. This chapter was very interesting. From what I've seen, it was very emotional. It got mixed reviews from the fandom. Majority of the people are liking this chapter and they know that Lucifero that got defeated right now isn't really the Lucifero that is in the underworld. And then there's the others not liking Lucifero as a villain, but Lucifero has been a villain since like the beginning of the year. This fight has been going on for basically almost 4 months. But regardless, let's get into my Black Clover 328 review. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussion, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, This way should hit me with some false copyright strikes, so I'm restarting the channel again. If you were subscribed to the old channel and you're seeing that you're not subscribed now, it's not that I booted you out of the channel. This is just a brand new channel that I'm starting from scratch. Regardless, if you're new, like, comment, subscribe is highly appreciated. Watch out for the Patreon and Discord. On the Discord, I do post images of the spoilers, so definitely look out for that. And I do have another channel that mainly focuses on One Piece. So yes, this chapter was very emotional. It gave me the feels. I read some of you guys' comments on the Discord and on YouTube, and it's looking like you guys, majority, felt the same way as well. And then there's that percentage that just want to dislike this chapter because of Lucifero seeming like he just got defeated. Like I said this in a few videos already, this isn't the real Lucifero. The real Lucifero is still in the underworld. Asta looks like he defeated Lucifero the same way he defeated Dante. But remember, Dante came back. I don't think he's going to be taken out of the story this easily. Plus, it doesn't look like Asta cut Lucifero's heart. So at the end of the day, you don't know if he can regenerate. If this is the real Lucifero in the real world, which I doubt, he could still regenerate, because if Magicla can do it, also Zagreus can do it, then the King of Devils could most likely do that as well. Of course, he got hit by anti-magic, so it might take him longer to heal, but at the end of the day, I still think if this is the real Lucifero's body, he could still heal up. However, I'm 100% sure this isn't the real Lucifero's body, because if you look at when Lucifero actually manifested, he took all the devils that were low ranking to mid ranking and combined them together to become that giant sludge devil. It was an interesting way that Tabata handled that, because we were wondering what will happen to all those devils after this arc, and Tabata kind of just let us know that all of them just fused to make this replica of Lucifero, because Lucifero did manifest with using that flesh of the sludge devil, meaning that all those devils that were mid tier and low tier are that Lucifero that Asta is fighting right now. It goes to show you that Lucifero's main body is still in the other world, because remember, Lucifero can manipulate low tier and mid tier devils. I'm not entirely sure if he can manipulate high tier devils the same way he can manipulate low tier and mid tier, because from what we see, Magicla, who is a supreme devil, can have a will of her own. Same thing with Adramalik, he has a will of his own. He decided not to help Lucifero. Zagreus doesn't seem like he was being manipulated or controlled by anyone as well, so it looks like from low tier to mid tier, Lucifero can control those devils at a moment's will, which also makes me think like now that Libe is here out in the real world, he can't control Libe anymore. And I know that Libe is technically in the Grimoire, but still, Libe can come out of his Grimoire and stand next to Asta just like he did in this chapter, and it looks like Libe is no longer a low tier devil, because if Libe was a low ranking devil, then Lucifero could have controlled him at any moment now. This to me is confirming that Libe is a high ranking devil. But yes, the beginning of the chapter starts off with Asta going in to attack Lucifero. The chapter is called Always, which makes more sense at the flashback. You see on the notes of the chapter on the left, it says the climax of the battle against Lucifero. For me, going on that, I think what's going to happen moving forward is that Adramalik is going to be a problem. I think Adramalik might end up either being an enemy and they have to continue the fight, or he ends up being on the side of the humans. Just based on how messed up the current cast is, Adramalik will be overkill. It will be interesting if Adramalik becomes like the next villain of the following arc and they have to deal with him, but just looking at how the cast is right now, unless Tabata wants to take the route where like Adramalik takes over the world somehow and they have to fight him to redeem the world and there's a time skip between everything, to me it looks like Adramalik might end up joining the current cast. That's in my opinion. I think he's gonna favor humans. I don't think he really likes devils, because if he really hated humans, then he would have probably killed them all. But he seems like he's interested in humans, and we've seen that Magicla was interested in humans as well. Towards the end, when Magicla was about to get defeated by Noel, she saw that humanity was very interesting. It looks like supreme devils and devils in general tend to have an interest in humanity, but devils just look at them as inferior beings. So I'm guessing that Adrammelech, he's gonna have more of an interest towards humans, seeing that Asta defeated Lucifero, and he's probably going to want to watch humanity and probably have some type of self-reflection moment. He just goes around checking how humans are. That's what I think is gonna happen with Adrammelech. In my opinion, the story's heading that route with him, but you never know. It could be that he just ends up being like a normal devil and he just wants to destroy everybody and then take over the world. The cast end up dying, or somebody in the cast end up dying, and there's a time skip. Who knows? Looks like Lucifero actually did a huge gravity attack on Asta, but of course, you know that's not gonna hold him on for very long, especially with the anti-magic that he has. And then the flashback starts and you see a better insight as to Lisita. And we all knew that Lisita was gonna talk about Asta to Libe. I liked how they're revealing more of the characters as time goes by. I really like that about Black Clover. The more we get into the story, the more of a flashbacks we get. I like that. You get a better depth of the person, because in this flashback you notice that Lisita, she's suffering greatly. She wants to be around Asta, but she can't hold him because she's gonna suck the life force out of him, which to me is weird and cruel. Something tells me that somebody cursed Lisita, and I was also asked, does Lisita have the same curse as Henry? And yes, she does in a way. She does steal mana, but she also steals life force. So I think she might have two curses, one that steals mana and one that steals life force. It's sad for her because the fact that she's a mom, she got a baby that was born healthy, but she can't be around him. Some of you guys have told me that maybe the reason why Asta was able to be born is because she got the second curse, the curse that steals life force, after he was born. I think Lisita might have had the first curse, which she steals mana, before Asta was born, or when Asta was born. Basically, in order for him to survive as a baby in her womb, he has to be without mana. Just kind of like a genetic way of him surviving. So it's kind of like a genetic mutation, but it's in a way for him to survive. It kind of happens like that in nature, where a certain species has a certain genetic change, and that genetic change helps the species survive in that environment that he's in. That's why you have like polar bears, you have grizzly bears. They're technically all bears, but there's a genetic difference between each of them. It's rather small, but it's enough for them to be different. I think that's what happened with Asta, is that he had a genetic mutation that ended him being born without mana, and then Lisita got the second curse, where she steals life force after Asta was born. It just seems weird to me because we don't know who Asta's father is, but maybe Asta's father has something to do with that curse she has. Lisita says she loves Asta regardless if she can't physically touch him. And then you get back into the present, and Asta looks like he just got punched in the chest by Lucifero with no effect, and Lucifero finally remembers that human that messed with him before with Libe. Basically, Lucifero says, that worthless woman who got in my way, you're her. This implies that he finally realizes that Asta's mother was Lisita, which is interesting because when that happens, Asta cuts Lucifero's arm off. Lucifero was just about to punch Asta with the other arm, and Asta cuts that arm off too. Asta says, the only one who's worthless is you, and then Asta cuts him in half. The same way he cut Dante when Asta and Yami were fighting Dante. It's a symbolization and somewhat of foreshadowing, and like I said before, it's symbolic and also kind of letting us know that in the future, hey, this is gonna happen. And if you think about it, Dante had 4 arms at one point as well. Lucifero, he had 4 arms, and Asta used the same sword that he cut Dante to cut the devil that was possessing him. So that in itself is really cool. I like the parallel between the two fights. We all know that Dante was not completely defeated. He came back after being healed, and I think that might end up being a foreshadowing as to what's gonna happen to Lucifero. I think this body, this replica, is defeated, but the real Lucifero is still in the underworld. From what people are telling me, it doesn't look like he cut the heart, but he did cut the middle. He actually cut twice, if you look at it. He cut Lucifero once in half, and then he cut the half part in half again. So it looks like he might have gotten his heart, but it also looks like he might have missed it just by an inch. So we'll see what happens in the next chapter. The Devil Union comes to an end. Asta and Libe are standing up looking at Lucifero, saying, while you crawl on the ground, we will live and be happy. And I love that, because now moving forward, it's looking like Libe is going to be more integral part of the story. Hopefully the Black Bulls will start appreciating Libe a lot more. It looks like they already know who Libe is because of the fact that Gray, when she was healing Yami, she said that Yami's body changed to something similar of Libe, which also makes me think, is William going to end up like a devil because he had the same issue with Yami and nobody really healed him, unless Gray healed William Vengeance off screen, but we never know. William Vengeance might end up becoming a devil, and if he does, I could see him being killed off that way, because I know a lot of the fandom just doesn't want to deal with him. We'll see what happens. I wonder if Lucifero is going to be able to control Libe. Li-Bei. To me, the way the story's going, I think this is more proof that Li-Bei is no longer a low-ranking devil, because I don't think Li-Bei is gonna get controlled by Lucifero and then ends up stabbing Asta. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think this replica right here is just gonna fade into nothingness, or it could heal itself too, but I highly doubt it. However, the Lucifero in the underworld is gonna try to take control of Li-Bei and find out that he can't. And to me, this is more proof that Li-Bei is no longer a low-ranking devil. He's now a high-ranking at the minimum. But yes, this chapter was good. I liked it. It was worth the wait. I know a lot of people are gonna be salty because it looks like Lucifero got defeated in this chapter, but Tabata is gonna pull a plot twist. And that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this chapter. Did the dialogue make you feel more connected to Lasita? Who do you think Asta's father is? Do you think he's the reason why Lasita got the curse or the curses? Do you think Lasita has more than one curse? For me, it's starting to look like she has two curses, the same one that Henry has, and then another one that takes away life force. Do you think that Li-Bei is still a low-ranking devil, or do you think that at this point Li-Bei is at least a high-ranking devil? Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.